Here we are back at the laser engraver, and I wanted to show you what it looks like when the information gets transferred over. So I'm back on the computer and I hit print. I've got everything all set up, and then this job, you can see that it's now coming in different pages. Don't worry about what that means. It just means that it's different parts of what we're engraving. So once it's in there, this little light has to stop blinking. That tells you that everything has come over the way it's supposed to. So once that's there, hit go. Now, before I hit go, one aspect of this engraver is if you are the first one to use it in the day, for whatever reason, the laser doesn't always shoot. The laser doesn't always fire like it's supposed to. It'll go back and forth and nothing's coming out for a minute or two, or I've even seen as much as 3 minutes. So you're sitting here waiting for it to actually shoot. So what we do on that is very simple. I sit here and wait. As soon as I see the laser cutting, I hit stop, reset, and that puts it back at home, and then hit go, and I just start it over again. And then it works just fine for the rest of the day. Apparently it needs to warm up or something, but that is something you just need to worry about if you're the first one using it. So here we go. We'll hit go, and I kind of hover over stop until I see it's still not shooting anything. So I'm going to wait until it actually shoots something. And just look really close, and this is the dragon, so we should be seeing his wings. And once I see it, there it is, right there. Now I hit reset and hit go. Now, when it hit the laser, you notice that smoke came up. Make very sure that the vacuum system, see this hose in the back? This isn't a vacuum. This is blowing and keeping the laser cool. The vacuum system behind needs to be turned on the wall on that side. Just hit the switch and you're ready to go. So I'll turn it on and then go turn on that system. Then we'll zoom in and watch what it does. Once the image is done, if nobody is right behind you, go ahead and turn the laser engraver back off. Let's open it up and you can just pull it right out, no problem. Now, I sped up, of course, it lasering this image out, but it took about 8 minutes to get from the top to the bottom. But as you can see, it's very clean. Now, when it laser engraves, it obviously is burning, so you can see there's a lot of scorching all the way around. All you got to do is take a flat piece of sandpaper, wrap it around a piece of wood, or fine sandpaper on electric and just slightly go over the top. You don't want to dig down in there. As you can see, the sawdust kind of makes it a little bit lighter, and that's okay. You can blow that out. But we want to get rid of the scorching, and that makes the difference, the color difference, stand out, especially where the webs of the wings come down. You want those to stand out so you can see them. So that is raster cutting, and once it's sanded down, you're ready to put it on your nightstand. When you're ready to vector cut, everything is on the computer. You've already sent it from here to there. You want to make sure to turn on one more thing. Just lower the camera. It's located right there between the computer and the engraver. That's a compressor. This compressor is meant to keep it from flaring up. So as it's cutting, the beam is on the entire time. It's hot. It's going to flare up. So this compressor shoots air down and keeps that from flaring up so you don't see any flames. Once in a while it still does flare up, but it does a good job of keeping that to a minimum. So just turn it on and you'll hear it turn on, and then make sure the exhaust on the wall is on as well. When it's time to vector cut your image, you want to make sure to put the veneer on a backing board. Now I've got a whole bunch of these and they're located underneath the laser engraver. But you notice that we taped it down. First of all, it's so it doesn't move, but mostly it's because veneer is very bent. If we put it right there, you can see how bent that is. And so we use some of this green tape and we tape it down to a backing board to hold it flat. If the distance from the surface you're cutting to the laser changes, the laser can't focus correctly and it won't cut right. So I've already done the XYZ, I've already created home in the top left corner. My image, I've told it is a 6x6, so it's going to be right here. So it's ready to go. All I need to do now is send over the information, which I'll do right now. And you can see that it's popping up very quickly right here. And this is done flashing. Sometimes vectors can be big, and so can rasters. Make sure you give that time till all of the information gets dumped in. Otherwise, you may miss a few of your cuts. Now, all that's ready. And remember, as I said before, if you're the first one to cut today, the laser doesn't like to turn on immediately for whatever reason. So hit go and then have your finger hover over stop until you know it's lasering. As soon as you see it laser, hit stop, reset it, and start it over. Now I know that I'm not the first. I've already run something on this, so it should work instantly. So it's all set, and we hit go. Now your image is all done. You simply reach in and pull it out. And be as gentle as you can. And you can see that these pieces will fall right out. They're ready to come out. They're just sitting in there. I can pull them out. Now what you do is you cut another one the exact same size out of a different color, and then you alternate the pieces. I would turn this a darker color because that's the white, or vice versa. Now when you're done cutting two, of course you'll have two images you're welcome to use in whatever way you want. But the thing with this is be careful that you don't, first of all, these don't get lost. That's the other reason we have the backing board, because they would fall through the table. But the other thing is make sure that you're careful when you put them together, tape them together, so they don't fall apart and pieces get lost. But when you're done cutting, you'll see a bunch of this ash like you would with raster. That again can be sanded off just lightly. But remember, save your work. If you only get a chance to cut out one image and then your work on the computer is deleted, there's no way that we can size this correctly. If it's a little big or a little small and you try to swap the pieces, it's not going to work. You've got to have it exactly the same for them to swap over correctly. So make sure to save your work under your name. So this is vector cutting, and it's a lot of fun to see the images that this computer can make.